Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and a new video on competitive multiplayer with Daggerwin. So just down at the brand new goats enclosure here that we've got, and as you can see they have started to produce milk. Not a lot so far, we only have 30 at the moment, but we have 466 litres in this pallet here so far. Not 100% full, it's just under half full. I think you get 1,000 litres per pallet, so it's just almost half full in one day. But as we only have 30 goats, that's kind of to be expected. When we get more, they're going to start to reproduce at some point, and we could even buy more at some point as well, probably. So that production is going to significantly increase. But at least it's a start. We have actually started to produce something which is quite high value to sell. So yeah, it's about well, at the best price, it's about £9,500 per pallet. The lowest price is about £7,500 roughly. So yeah, it's a really good thing to have here. Now we've got that set up. It wasn't cheap to set it up, but now it's here. We have a capacity of 116, I think, animals in this. Yeah, 116. We've currently got 30, so we've got plenty of space for more. So I think this is going to be a really good money earner for us at some point in the future. Today, there's not a lot we can do on our own land. There's no field work really to do, and there's not many contracts. Very few. So I have a plan what we might be able to do today. I was hoping to get the big sawmill, but as you can see with the money, we cannot afford that at the moment. We need 150,000 to buy that, and we only have 78,000, which is a bit of a shame. But I was thinking we might go for the small sawmill just to start off with, just start small and then work up to the big one. We can possibly put it here. I was thinking of putting it here, or in one of these fields here. We can buy these. These are quite cheap. That one's 14,000 and that one's 10,000. The soil type is terrible, but if we were using it as a production field, that would not be an issue at all. So yeah, both of these little paddocks here, potentially one of them will be turned into a production field for me. It's nice and flat, so perfect for building on, and that will be where we put the big sawmill and possibly a bakery in the future as well. But for now, I think we'll just go with the small one because that's all we can afford. It's 36,000, but that means we can start cutting some trees down and bringing them over here. Ideally, I would have liked to put one a bit closer to where the trees are. Obviously, the trees are over at the main yard, which is here. These are my oak trees. These are the first ones to be cut down that I planted very early on in the series. We've also got all of these American elm, which I actually bought by mistake, but they're still growing, and we can drag them over there at some point as well. I was thinking of winching them because it's easier, as long as they don't get stuck on everything. That is a bit of a concern. It's quite a long way to drag them because we're going all the way down the farm drive here, which is quite a narrow entrance. That's the issue. That is quite a big issue, that little entrance there. Should be okay going down the road and then into this field here and then down to the bottom of the field, which wouldn't be an issue at all. It's downhill and it's nice and wide if we place it here, and then potentially put the big one in one of these two fields. There's a double gate on this one, so that would be nice and easy. Probably go with the bigger field of the two in the future, and then we'd probably sell the small sawmill eventually when we don't need it anymore. But if we wait for 150,000, we're going to be waiting a while. So I was thinking of just going with the cheap one for now. That's it, yeah, 36,000. I know it's not the most productive production ever, but it's all I can afford right now, and it will do the job. We'll make some money. It's better than earning no money, and we will be able to sell it in the future as well. I don't know whether you get full price back for them when you resell them, but would get something back. So I think we're going to go with that and just start dragging a few trees down here for production into pallets, which will be worth quite a bit of money. We could even maybe keep this one in the future as well and keep them both running. Maybe, we'll see on that. I don't know, but I would like to go with this and get something done. Otherwise we've really got not much to do today at all if we don't do this. So I think it is worthwhile, and we'll get that production going now. So yeah, we'll buy that. There we go, and we'll start to bring some trees down if this all goes to plan. We will need to buy a winch though, or lease it. I don't know, it depends how much it is, because otherwise we don't. Well, I suppose we could put them on the trailer, but that'd be quite a lot of work. So I'd rather just drag stuff as long as it fits through all the gates. So we'll go with the cheap one. It's only 8,500, so it's not too bad. I think we'll buy it. That's used up more money than I was hoping, but I think we will make the money back. pretty quick. So we'll use this tractor, it's got more power. We'll drop the cultivator off and we will head to the shop, pick up the winch and start to cut some trees, and we'll see how this goes. I'm not expecting it to be that easy, mainly because of the tie entrances and stuff, but I think we should be able to do it. Worst case, we could possibly even go through the field. This field's empty on the right at the moment, so we could drag through that field and then through that gate. It might be easier than going through the farm gate, because that is quite narrow. Although just looking there doesn't seem to be a collision right up against the fences, or the walls. So there is a little bit of leeway, but it's still going to be tight, I think. So we'll see how it goes. We don't know unless we try, do we? So that's the thing. So we'll give it a go, see how this goes. But we'll start with the oak trees. There's loads of wood in the oak. They're fully grown now, so yeah, won't take many trees to fill it. In fact, one tree will probably fill the production. Oh no, I'm getting in front of that. Here's Daggerwin. He's doing some spreading by the looks of it. So he's bought the same spreader as me, but I had mine first, so he copied me. Or at least, I don't think he copied me, but I was the first one to buy that. He thought I copied him, I think, when he first bought that, but yeah, I definitely had mine a long time before he did. Anyway, here we are at the shop, so we'll get this winch picked up and we'll make a start with our tree work. That's the first load of wood delivered then. We've got another part of that tree to bring down, but I've just had a thought. There is a dead wood contract available. 4 trees to cut, and they're not far away, so they're not fast to drag them, and that'll be free wood, and we do benefit from the full amount of the tree, even though it's dead wood, if we own the sawmill, so we're going to accept that. And I know I've already filled the sawmill a bit. It's quite full now. It's, what is it? Yeah, almost 12,000, no, 11,000, sorry, almost 11,000 litres of wood in that, so that's pretty much fill it with one log. This is why people tell me not to get the small stuff, but the only reason I've gone for it is because we would never have been able to do this today if I hadn't bought the small one. We will get the big one, definitely, 100%, when the money's available. And we do have the soybeans to sell in June, so that'll be a nice big lump of money coming in fairly soon. Well, I say fairly soon, 6 months away. So that will certainly be enough to buy it, I think, when we get that soybean money in. But yeah, what I'm thinking is though they're all right next to each other, so it's super easy, and they're not too far to go to get them. Are they in this field or the one next to it? They're in the fence, so it's a bit annoying, but hopefully they'll fall this way. Technically they're in the other field, I think, but I'm hoping that they'll fall into this one, and then we can drag them over to the sawmill. When we turn the contracts in though, they are going to disappear, so that is a bit of an issue. Oh yeah, of course you fall that way. Yeah, you had to. Yeah. So even though I'm cutting, cause, yeah, people say if you cut that way, they're going to fall that way, but I think it's because the fence is here, it's knocking them the other way. That's just typical. But yeah, these would be enough to fill the sawmill, so hopefully they'll take some of them, I hope, anyway. Or one of them, maybe. Do I want to cut the last one down now, or should we drag one back first, just to guarantee they don't disappear? Oh, I wish they'd not fallen into the other field, because I don't think you can get into that one. Well, you can, but it's further. It's a long way round. I think you have to go in all the way over there, that far side. Is it? I don't think this is going to work, but I'm going to try and drag it over the fence. Fences have got collisions on this map though, so I think it's unlikely to work. But you never know. No, I don't think that's going to work. Oh, Well, at least they're easy enough to drag. The other one, as you'll have seen there, this tractor's kind of lacking horsepower for the really big ones, like we just dragged back. That is a heavy log, and yeah, it did it, but it was struggling a bit. Ideally, we could do with a sort of 400 horsepower tractor for doing that sort of thing, but we've only got 200, no, just 200 I think this one is. So yeah, it's a little bit low. But it is just about enough to get them there. But when we have a bit more money, we probably will invest in a bigger tractor at some point. But not before we get the big sawmill and maybe some more arable fields as well. Still want to get that, more arable fields, but we have to just take one step at a time. Productions are important, especially things like sawmills, because there's a lot of money in the logs. Well, not the logs, sorry, the planks. Okay, so here we are on the other side of the fence now. Let's get one of these trees dragged back to our new sawmill and see if it will take it.
It started out like a movie scene, something straight out of a magazine. I crossed my fingers you'd come to me, then all of a sudden it became reality. Don't care about no gold, no one else to hit my phone up. None of that pretentious life. No, 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 don't need no pills to get high. There's no doubt in my mind. Your love, it is all that I need.
Okay, so it's not filled at 100%, so obviously one of the trees must be bigger than the amount that's available in the capacity of the sawmill, so it's taken one of them. I think we should be able to get a second one to disappear though at some point this episode. I think as long as we don't turn the contract in, we should be able to keep hold of them as long as we can. We're only going to get 600 for the contract, so we're not really going to gain anything by ending that now, so we might as well keep that running for the rest of the episode and just see what happens with that. I don't really know how it's going to go, but we'll see. Right, I did just check as well to see the price of this thing if we were to sell it right now. Not that we're going to, but we might be selling it at some point when we buy the big one. We'll get 18,000 back for it. So we have lost, well, we will lose a bit of money on it when we sell it. We aren't going to get the full 36,000 back, but it's not too bad. We're still going to get a decent amount, well, a reasonable amount back for it. When we do come to replace it, if we come to replace it, we might just keep hold of it and keep the other one going as well. It might be actually more profitable to do that rather than losing money on it. Because I mean, yeah, there's no harm in having two productions running, is there really? Yeah, I'm kind of struggling for jobs at the moment. What I'm going to do is just bring the rest of that other tree, the first tree I cut down earlier on, I'll bring the rest of those branches over here as well. That one could be a bit more challenging though, because it's quite wide. That's the top of the tree, so it's a lot of small overhanging wide bits that are probably going to get caught on stuff, so we'll see how that goes. It might have to be brought in multiple pieces, but at least we can get through the field at the moment. Actually, even when there's a crop in this field, we will be able to use this tractor to go through here, because this tractor is not going to damage the crop with its thin tyres on. We can actually go through this field even when there's a crop growing without damaging it, which is good, as I have done with this field. I know it's not 100% realistic to do that, because it would in real life, even with thin crops, even with row crop tyres on, it would still damage the crop. But in the game, it doesn't do, so we're going to make use of that. Even with crop destruction on, it will not damage the crop with thin tyres. Okay, so we'll hitch up to this rest of this tree here. This could be a bit of a challenge to get it out though, it's a bit tight in here. There we go. Yeah, it's a bit of a mess. It's not the easiest place to get it out from, but we'll see what we can do. The plan is to bring this over to the new sawmill as well, so that will be taken once there's space for it. So I was kind of right at the start of the episode. One large oak tree pretty much will fill that sawmill. because it wouldn't take all of this bit. There's going to be quite a bit of wood in this as well. So right, okay, as I thought, this is going to be a challenge. So I'm going to have to do a bit of trimming here to make sure it fits out, or we can get it out the forest and through all the gateways and stuff as well. Because if it doesn't get out of here, it's not going to get through the gateways. So I'll get on with just trimming this and bringing it all over to the sawmill. Right, so that is all the wood we're going to get there for now, because it is full and there's plenty of wood there for it to take over the next day or so. I'm not quite sure how quickly it gets through this wood, but looking at the cycles per month and stuff, it doesn't look very quick. So we're just going to leave that to do its thing for the time being and see how it goes. But we will need to turn that contract in at some point. Greenhouses are fine for water. One thing that I was thinking we could do though, well, two things actually, is plant some more trees. We could plant some in this field because we own all this grassland at the moment, so we could plant a few trees around the edge, maybe down that side where there already are some trees. I think we can cut these down as well. Somebody did mention that. I think they're on our land, so we should be able to cut these. Yep, we can cut them. There's not a lot of wood in them, but it's extra, so it all helps. American elm, not very big either, so not great, but yep, there's wood in them, so we can cut those down. And I was thinking of putting some oak across in the gaps, basically, or alongside them. So we're going to have loads and loads of wood down that side to feed the sawmills, sawmill or sawmills, depending on whether we keep both. And yeah, if we put it in this field here, it wouldn't be too far at all to drag it from there down to here, and it's downhill as well, even better. So yeah, that's going to go. I think this is potentially going to be really good. So we're going to have the goat milk and the wood products all together when we have 150k to buy it. Yeah, I think it's going to go really well. And the other thing I was going to suggest is, I think what Daggerwin's been doing with his wood, because I don't think he owns a sawmill at the moment, is he's taking, I think he's doing it at the moment, maybe, I'm not sure, he's got a trailer, and I think he's taking it to the lumber sell point and selling the wood just straight off as it is. Not a great way of doing it, you don't get that much money compared with selling the production wood, and the price that it's worse at the moment as well, although it doesn't seem to change too much through the year. But yeah, that's something else we can do if we are really stuck. We can cut a few trees and take them to the sell point just to sell as they are, which I think is worth doing, maybe a bit, but not too much. But yeah, we might do a bit of that later on if we have the time. So I'm going to drop this off now, and we're going to lease the tree planter, and we're going to put some more oak in along this edge of this field so that we've got a supply in the future, because eventually we will run out of wood. We've got loads at the moment, but eventually we'll run out. And it is always nice to have nearer trees as well. These would be more of a priority to cut than the ones at the yard, because they're so close to where I'm going to put the sawmill, as long as Daggerwin doesn't buy one of those fields first. In fact, maybe it's worth buying that field to guarantee that I get the field. I don't know why he would buy a field that's there with rubbish soil type, but you never know. It is a competition after all, and if some of the people who support Daggerwin, rather than me, tell Daggerwin my idea, they might think it's a funny idea to make Daggerwin buy that field. So maybe it is worth buying that today, just to guarantee that I have it available, because I'm planning all these things, and if I then lose the field, that would not be good. But I think he's probably have more important things to spend his money on than an empty field that has a rubbish soil type. But who knows? It is a competition, like I say, so you never know what might happen. Anyway, yes, let's go and pick up this tree planter, and we'll get a few more oak trees in the ground. as you've just seen there, I've just purchased that field to stop anyone giving Daggerwin ideas. So we now own that field as well. That's going to be my sawmill production field and potentially bakery field as well if we've got space for it. I'm going to have the big sawmill in there, and yeah, anything else that fits basically. It's nice and flat and rubbish soil type, so ideal for building on. So yeah, that is the plan. I've just put some trees around the outside of it because I had some left over. So we've now got trees all the way up that side of this field, all the way along the top, and then round two sides of our new field here. So really starting to change things on the farm at the moment. It's quite exciting. Yeah, so we're going to return this now. We don't need it anymore, so we'll return the tree planter, which is that one. Yep, return. So we only planted, what was it, 40 trees there, but still not bad. 40 more oak trees. That's going to be quite a lot of wood when they're fully grown. How is the production doing? Has it used any wood at all? Tiny amount by the looks of it. It is slow. Yeah, kind of in a way regressing buying it, but it's a long-term thing. So we're going to, in the future, we'll be making a decent amount of money out of it. But it is a little bit slower than I was hoping. But yeah, it'll get through it, and we'll use it eventually. But yeah, the focus is to save up for the big sawmill, obviously. But I just wanted to get something underway so that we have at least make a few pallets or a few planks in sort of the next few months before we can afford it. Right, so I think what we'll do now is see if we can sell some of this wood. We'll cut another oak tree down from the original area, and we'll see if we can drag that to the sell point for wood and see what we can get for a part of a tree, or maybe the whole tree if we can get all of it dragged over there. So it didn't go too badly dragging the trees through to this field. It is quite a bit further dragging them all the way up to the sell point, but we'll see how that goes. Should be okay with the first piece, the big trunk, because that's not too wide. The issue tends to come when you start dragging the big branches and stuff, because they overhang a lot more. But we'll see how that goes, and hopefully we can get it there and get a reasonable amount of money for it. I know it's not as profitable as putting it into your own sawmill for production, but it's just basically finding jobs that's going to make us a bit of money over the winter really at the moment, until we can afford to build our own proper big sawmill. So I'll get on with that now, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, so as predicted, the first log was a lot easier and a lot more valuable, and the second one was a bit of a nightmare and wasn't worth half as much. So yeah, not really worth doing the second one, but certainly the first one, we got over 7,000 plus a environmental score reward, so that one was definitely worth doing. I won't be making a habit of taking it to that sawmill, I don't think, or sell point. That's just, if we've got literally nothing else to do, it's a good little bit of extra money to make if there's no contracts available, which there wasn't even any contracts really, apart from a couple of ploughing jobs. There's very little to do today, so that was the best way of making use of my time and getting a bit of extra money for it. So yeah, I'm overall pleased with today's progress. In fact, I'm very pleased. We've done a lot more than I was expecting, considering the time of year. This is January after all, so it's not a lot to do in January, but yeah, I think we've made some really good progress there, and we've got another production up and running and working towards getting the full size sawmill, which would be really good. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on it, and yeah, I think we'll leave it there because Daggerwin's just finished and I will finish as well. So I really hope you've enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one.